Welcome back to the Vikings crew. The Minnesota Vikings have some news to share. Well, they have the news. I have the news to share. First of all, it's been a little while since I've had this setup, right? Yeah, we're back to it. And the Minnesota Vikings decline to pay wide receiver Jalen Reagor's $12.99 million fully guaranteed fifth-year option. Now, ever since that big Jalen Reagor trade to the Vikings, back a little before the season, we Vikings fans got really excited. You see an explosive guy who's a little inconsistent, but he can get better under Kevin O'Connell. And honestly, Jalen Reagor dropping passes, it occurred a lot during his time with the Eagles, but not with the Vikings. I mean, sure, he's been a little shy on punts and punt returns, but he's never really muffed one before. He's never really fumbled one. He's never really looked up into the sky too much and lose the ball. So I don't really have much worries about him, but I'm starting to feel like the Vikings aren't really thinking much of him that much anymore. And I don't want that to be the case because Jalen Reagor can still be utilized in a way where he can excel and he can just have the best season in the time of his life. And Jalen Reagor, he's as some would say, a mid player who can get better. And the one thing that I really love about Jalen Reagor is he's a guy he's a slowly but surely kind of guy. Like he returns a punt, he returns it slowly. The minute he sees a crease, bam, turns on the jets, turns on the burners, full speed. And I love how Jalen Reagor is also clutch in certain situations. He converts on like 3rd and 7s. Like he quietly gets open to convert on those big 3rd and 7s, 3rd and 5s, 3rd and 6s, 3rd and 4s, things like that. Just times when it really matters to get the ball into someone's hands. Jalen Reagor is that guy, and he has done so well for the Minnesota Vikings. I don't think it's a time to think less of him, especially given the fact that he's tight with Justin Jefferson too. Don't forget, Justin Jefferson is a star right now, and he always has been. And Jalen Reagor was drafted ahead of him. And then the Eagles took Reagor over Jefferson, and now the Eagles have to pay for it now that the Vikings have Reagor and Jefferson. So they're a pretty tight duo. They are a pretty tight duo. The Vikings have a really, really nice wide receiver room and running back room. Very flexible on both. I don't see the point of letting him go. But as of right now, they declined his fifth-year option. But we saw what happened with Garrett Bradbury. He was drafted in 2019. We thought that he'd be our savior, but he overall played like the worst center in the league. And then he changed, because general manager Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah stepped in, Kevin O'Connell stepped in, head coach, offensive coordinator Wes Phillips, offensive line coach Chris Cooper. They were all like, I can change him. We can change him. And they made it so that Bradbury is going to play for another year, his fifth year. So I'm not saying that if you decline a fifth-year option, it's just you'll never have another fifth year with that team. It can still be a possibility for you to have a fifth year for that team, but you really have to prove yourself, and that's something that this man can do. Jalen Reagor can do that. And all I'm saying is don't give him like top-tier money yet, okay? We need to see him prove himself. But don't let go of him. Don't think less of him because there is a way, like I said, for him to be utilized in a way that he can just burn the defenses. And that's to use him the same way the 49ers use Deebo Samuel, because Deebo Samuel is a fantastic route runner, but we've seen him all over the place. He's been taking jet tosses, jet touches, jet sweeps, lining up as a running back, stuff like that. I want that to be with Jalen Reagor. I mean, Jalen Reagor has that same kind of speed, that same kind of elusiveness, explosiveness, and I'm sure it would fit well with Justin Jefferson too. So why not? Why not try? You'll never know until you try it. So I don't know. But as of right now, Minnesota Vikings decline, I repeat, decline wide receiver Jalen Reagor's $12.99 million fully guaranteed fifth-year option. Vikings decline to pay it. Until next time, thanks for watching. Skol Vikings, guys. Love you all.